Hello again. Welcome back to the north. Oh, I keep forgetting about those lights. Washing out my camera. It actually beautiful in person. It's closer to looking like this. So, and things are a little dim right now because it's morning, so we don't have it's a little yellow on the yellow side as the sun comes up, right? 24-hour lighting. This little video, and I don't know, I'm going to try not to be too long with this one, but I'm really starting to think here, because again, when you look at overflow designs on the do-it-yourself videos all over the place, there's probably about 20 guys that have made these things. They all basically made them the same way, which is they watched Joey DIY do it, and then they copied his video and his method precisely. Like, they're all a U of PVC on the inside, so you got two big PVC things on the inside, and then you got two big ones on the outside coming down, and you know, a little spout on the bottom to drop your hose out and send it along, and different heights of tubes, because to keep the siphon going, the water has to move around them in a certain way. And again, if you watch King of DIY Joey's video on how, it gives you a really good understanding of how the water's moving through these things. And after watching that and understanding what it was actually doing, to be honest, if I had all of the parts to build it that way, I would have, because I would have wanted something that worked. But I don't, and I didn't want to spend money. So I looked around, I found all the stuff that I had laying around that was tubey looking, and I'm like, how can I make this thing work anyway, right? Like, I understand the physics, I understand the process, so let's make it work with what I got. And I built this thing. And I'm going to make another video that gets with clips, because I made, you know, little clips as I was going along building this one, just to refresh on how I did it. But this thing has run rock solid since I made it. It's flawless. I mean, it's dealing with the biggest Oscar poops you could imagine. It's stable. It sits there. The water levels stay stable. I've done it in 2 tanks. I've got 2 tanks running in the system on these things. Freaking solid. You know, and it's not as big and bulky and ugly as all of the other designs. So, you know, I almost hate to think I've reinvented the wheel, but I think I've reinvented the wheel. You still get the weir, which is the important part. This is the part that really matters. That stops your tank if your power goes out, right? Very important. You need that. And then if the power turns back on, the thing actually kicks back in. But I wouldn't say it does it 100% reliably, and I don't think the other ones do either, to be honest. I've read a lot of people complaining that, you know, if something happens, they have to get in there and restart their siphons and so on. So I expect this is no worse than those are in that regard. I can't tell you it's better because I haven't tried the other ones, but I can tell you that this runs absolutely stable, rock solid, easy to make, probably cheaper to make, because that tube stuff, although it's not terribly cheap, I think it's cheaper than PVC. At least it is in my city, and most of us have like tons of this stuff laying around anyway. So you just need a little short run of PVC, a couple little angle things on each end, and you run the tube up and you keep it a certain distance from the top, and you make sure the water can get in, and yeah, and I'll show you on the other one, because it's transparent. You can see what's going on inside it. So this is the second one I made. We're going to bring the brightness up a little bit here. It's a bit darker in this corner. And same idea. The tube's just kind of buried and running under there. I'd cut it a bit long, so I sent it off that way because I didn't want to recut it, and I was lazy. But anyway, it comes up, and this is what I want to show you. I changed the design a little bit. Again, I'm just using what's laying around, and this was an old vacuum I think it was made by Aqua Clears, Aqua something anyway. One of those vacuum hoses. It used to have a piece of clear see-through glass part here so you could see what you're grabbing. And it's transparent here. And if you look in, you can see what I've done with the hose. The hose is just sitting below the water line, just a few inches. And then above that, by about 1.5 inches, you start your first row of holes. There's a couple rows of holes up there. A piece of fake plants actually jamming one up right now, but it's completely circled with the holes. And you can see how the water flows in continuously through the holes. And there's almost no air getting through there. You see a little bit getting pulled down. And that's how it works. And if you ever have an airlock, you just put your mouth on the top, and give it a good hard huff and blow out the tube. You hear the tube evacuate out the other side, and then you just drop the tube back down in the corner like that because it jams in there. It's perfectly cut to fit tight, and then you start your siphon on the other side with a gentle little whoop, and it starts right away, and then you're off to the races. There's no fighting. There's no dealing with like a vacuum valve at the top and getting all your air out. And no, you just, boom, as simple as that. If you had an obstruction, you clear it the same way. I doubt I'll ever have one, to be honest. Because all the filters run on pipes this thick, and they suck up poop all the time. So it's really the same. If this pipe clogs, it'll be like a canister filter pipe clogging. The pressure that's running through these right now is probably higher than what runs through the Suns. So, anyway, we don't want to be too long, like I said. But I'm going to make a new video on sort of how to make this, if anybody's interested, because it works. I've been running it for weeks now. I've done it twice. And the second one, like the first one, I had trouble kind of figuring out. The second one, I basically just popped it in the tank. It ran, and it's been running since I put it there. Several days now. Zero issues. None. Absolutely perfect. And glad I pushed myself to do it. Necessity truly is the mother of invention. It was someone said that when they saw this, and you know what? That's what happened. That couldn't have been said better myself. That's what happened. So yeah, it's not as ugly. It doesn't take up as much room in your tank. It's just one pipe running up instead of two, and then you got nothing on the outside but an outflow pipe, which we all have anyway. It looks more tanky. It's great. We'll catch you on the next one.